And good morning. It's 7:03 on this Wednesday, July 17th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on a Wednesday, a little cloudy and overcast, and maybe we're being threatened by rain. I don't know, but we haven't had much lately. Not here. But a good Wednesday morning to you, and welcome to our program. We are on the air for Cedar Stone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, Simple Banking, Simply Better. And Tina Winfrey is here today. Tina, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
And you are still Executive Vice President.
Yes, sir. Last I knew.
How long you had that title?
A couple of years.
Oh, well, what were you before that?
Senior Vice President.
What's the difference? Don't answer that. We're glad.
I'm not really sure.
we are glad to have you here this morning to talk about the things that are going on at Cedar Stone, and of course the three locations which we talk about quite frequently. You've always maintained your office in here in Lebanon, right? The Lebanon office.
Yes, pretty much. Yes. When we first opened, though, our Lebanon office, our rental space wasn't that large, so I was actually in the Mount Juliet office. It was more space, but since we went into our main office that we have now in 2007, so I've been there since.
Yeah. Well, you've every office was different in the beginning to what it is now. You have three very modern facilities that you're really proud of, I know, and they all look similar.
Yes.
But
yes.
The bigger one, of course, is in Lebanon.
Yes, it is. It's the 2-story. And then we had the 1-story versions at our Mount Juliet and Nashville location. So we are proud of them. We love them. We wanted something that when someone saw it, they knew it was a Cedar Stone Bank office. And,
right.
And
well,
be very distinguishable.
It does stand out in that regard. Well, Bob McDonald, of course, is President and CEO, and you work very closely with him.
Yes, sir.
And have been really from the beginning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I came on when the bank was an organization. So it's been 16 years I worked for him. We've been open for 15, so it's been good.
Any particular thing you want to talk about this morning?
Well, I just kind of want to remind everyone about that we have, checking accounts, CDs, loans, and just to be able to, if you don't know anything about us or you've been curious, I've come across a lot of people, oh, I love that bank. I'd love to see what the inside looks like. Come by, visit with us, say hello, meet our staff, and just find out about our products. And, you never know, you might want to come change your business to us because, we have that awesome Simply Free Checking.
Right, and we'll get to the free checking in a moment here. But, of course, you are not directly involved, I don't think, in opening accounts or in making loans. You kind of are in the background to make sure that it's all done right.
Right. Well, all of our systems are in order and that they are working because we want to make sure. My job is to make sure that the staff that you do see every day in the retail level, your new accounts, loan officers, tellers, branch managers, that they can service all of our customers properly and efficiently. So that's where I come in. I got to make sure that all of those systems are working.
Right, and then there's that word compliance, which has a lot to do with your job, I think.
Yes, sir. It's actually, compliance is every person's responsibility. At every level of our company, it is a priority and a responsibility, and it takes all of us to make sure that we are compliant. Every aspect.
You're at the top of the compliance list, I think.
In part of it, yes. We do have a compliance officer, and that is not me, but we all work together on
Sure.
that.
Well, interest rates are very attractive still. In fact, they bumped up a little and have come down a little. That's what everybody says.
They're doing a little bouncing around, yes.
And it is a great time if you need to get a loan, and you can get your loan at Cedar Stone.
At Cedar Stone Bank, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Plus, there's that Simply Better free checking account.
Yes. That is an awesome product, and you can come in, open a checking account, you get free checks, you get a debit card that can be utilized at any ATM in the world, and we pay for the fees, the foreign bank fees that the other banks will charge. So,
well, I use my Cedar Stone debit card from time to time. I probably carried it in my wallet for a year before I ever used it. But it's really easy, and of course, if it is a foreign, if you're out of town or something like that, use what's called a foreign ATM, then your fee there is reimbursed
Yes.
And I've never done that yet, but one of these days I'm going to.
You just need to try it, Coleman.
Yeah, just check it out.
Right.
See if Bob's been telling us right. I know he has. He is really proud of those in Italy or Timbuktu or wherever that when they're a long ways from home and use that, and I think he kind of keeps up with them that way.
He does. We do try to know. We like to make sure we know where our customers are. Make sure it's also a security and a fraud prevention piece, because we want to make sure that transactions are happening by our customer and not by someone else.
It's probably, we haven't really talked about this, but I don't know if we ever mentioned this before or not, but if you're going out of town and somewhere where your path doesn't usually take you, it's probably a good idea to let the bank know that you're going to be there, so when something strange kind of appears there, they don't get worried about you.
You are so correct, and that is for anyone banking at any bank. It is very important to let your financial institution know that where you might be traveling and where you might be, because your patterns are changed and things are different, and we just want to make sure that you are where you are, whether you're out of state, out of the country, because we all have habits and patterns, and if it's something different, then it's going to be looked at and reviewed, because that's how we detect. A lot of the fraud is happening from other states, other countries, where they've stolen the numbers and try to pass them off as our customer, and we are diligent about that. So, yes, I recommend, even with credit cards, debit cards, you just let your bank know, and our customers will let us know, and that they're traveling, and we put an alert and a notice out there, and we just pay attention. So, and another great thing too, we have, internet banking, mobile banking, and through our mobile banking app, you can actually, let's say you're not sure where your debit card went to, if you misplaced it, you can turn it off so nobody else can use the number, and then when you found it, you can turn it back on.
Ah, okay.
So it's a great feature that we have. So, in amongst, being able to look at your transactions and transfer money. So, and it's all part of our checking accounts at Cedarstone Bank.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us this morning. Always great to have you. Have a good day and a good week. We'll see you next time, whenever that is.
You too, Coleman. Thank you very much.
Tina Winfrey, Executive Vice President, Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Julia Donaldson. Simple banking, simply better. We are actually 11 minutes after the hour. And here on this Wednesday morning, we've got a special program really for you. And I want to introduce first Delane Davenport, the band booster president of Lebanon High School. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you,
I'm
Coleman?
fine. Did I get that about right?
You did. You got it perfect.
All right. And you have 6 members of the band plus the band director that you have brought here for us this morning.
Yes, sir. We sure do. We are in the middle of our band season, and let me tell you, it's already gotten started in the month of July. I know it's hard to believe. School doesn't start till August, but we are up and running.
Well, how did you get to be president of the Band Boosters?
Well,
nobody else wanted.
Yeah, nobody wanted. No, 6 years ago, my son was a freshman, and he joined the band. And from that point forward, I've been very involved with the band program. I was not a band student. Unfortunately, I played sports, which is good or bad, but I was a sports person: softball, basketball, volleyball, and then my children were band children. So here I am now as a band mom, as they say. And I started as the treasurer, and I've served as treasurer for the last 5 years. And now I'm passing that on to someone else, and I'm the president currently.
Well, what are you expecting from the band this year?
Well, we've got all kinds of things going on. We've got our biggest thing this year is we are doing a trip to Chicago in March, and they are going to be marching in the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Oh. So right now we are doing lots of fundraising to get our kids to that point where they can at least march in the parade. They've been to several different things in the past, and this is going to be a great opportunity, kind of once in a lifetime.
Okay, you got the band director here. You want to introduce him?
Yeah, this is Ben Chanel, and he has been our director for the last 2 years. He was our assistant director before that, and so he has been involved in Wilson County and Lebanon School District music programs for many years. So, Mr. Chanel.
Ben, good morning. Welcome to our program.
Thank you.
And we want our audience to welcome you as well, and we're really honored to have you and the group of students that you brought with you this morning.
Yeah, we're glad to be here.
Two days of intense training, huh?
We started camp on Monday morning, and we've done 2 days, and we're starting the third day today. I know they're all hot and tired, but they love every minute of it.
Well, I'm proud of them for being here out there in the parking lot when I rolled in about 5 till 7 this morning.
Well, one of the band things is early is on time. That's how we run. So that's what we do.
What are you expecting this year?
We have the largest group the Lebanon band has ever seen. We have a very strong start. Our show.
You want to give us a number?
Yeah, we got 135 students in the band this year.
135.
Yes, sir.
Every one of them has to have an instrument and a uniform.
Most of them have either play an instrument or they're in the color guard. So there's the flag corps that also helps us in the back of the field. But yeah, the 135 this year, and it's one of the largest groups we've ever seen.
How is the band financed?
So every student does have to pay a fee. There's a band fee, and then we keep it pretty low because the boosters and a lot of work from the president, like Delane, they work to make fundraisers happen that support the program, and then the county also funds us as well. So we have kind of different areas that the money comes from, but we do a lot of fundraising to keep things affordable for everybody.
Uniforms and instruments fairly current?
Yeah, the uniforms are going into their 6th season, I think, and they're still looking really good. And white, big bright white, and with black and blue, and it's a good looking uniform.
Well, now I understand since they brought their instruments here, we're gonna hear from them a little.
Yeah,
bit.
I thought we might
They
could play
that to the end.
If that's okay with you, Coleman.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Well, you're kind of the boss, right?
Most of the time.
I'm flexible, but I think that's what you told me earlier. But I think we ought to have a chance to maybe say a word or two to each one of them.
Yeah, I want to talk to them.
But we got to go to a break first, and this is a good time to do that. We'll take a break here. We come back. We'll meet. We will meet 6 members of the Lebanon High School Marching Band. So stay with us here, Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
All right, it's 7:14. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks, Absolute Kubota and Rental. They have RedMax, complete inventory of weed eaters, blowers, hedge trimmers for the commercial user and homeowner with up to a 4-year warranty. Absolute Kubota and Rental, 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning, heavy traffic, but it's still moving 40 eastbound, passing 840 here coming out of Dixon County through Kingston Springs right now. Traffic's on the increase 65 southbound as we check that out live here at Trinity Lane. Traffic still looking good on through Brentwood at the moment through Williamson County on 65 going northbound. Prince's Hot Chicken is the original hot chicken in Middle Tennessee. They started all this hot chicken craze at 5814 Nolensville Pike. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
The Pavilion Senior Living residents are inviting you to become their new neighbor. If you're looking for a sign to move, call us at 444-5556 to learn more about the details. Or go to thepavilionseniorliving.com for more information. Or better yet, just drop by 1408 Medical Center Drive right behind Tenova Hospital and see for yourself. You should move here.
At Absolute Kubota, now you can get a great-looking cut in less time, every time. With an Exmark, the mowers landscape pros trust 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand of mowers. Right now, Exmark is offering great incentives on the newly redesigned Quest, our most affordable zero-turn riders, starting as low as just $32.99. Check out all the special Exmark deals today at Absolute Kubota, 1325 West Main Street, Lebanon, Tennessee. Exmark, ready to work for you.
Well, we continued. If you're just joining us, welcome to our program this morning. We're featuring the Lebanon High School Band this morning. Ben Chanel is the director. He's here. We have Delane Davenport, who is president of the Band Boosters, and who up till this time has done most of the talking. But they've had 2 days of intense practice, I understand, out on the hot pavement, and and probably getting up early in the morning to do that, just like they did to come out here. But we have 6 that we want to meet right now, and I believe Rihanna Davenport is the first one we're going to talk to. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
Now, this is your mother here beside you.
Yes, sir.
Right? The president of the Band Boosters.
Yes, sir.
She said she liked to play sports, but you and another sibling like to do the band. Is that right?
Yes, sir. We're very music-based in our home. Our father was in the Lebanon High School marching band, and he graduated, and then we had some cousins just before we came in, and so we've been very involved with the band program.
Okay. And all of you 6 we're going to talk to for a minute here are seniors, I understand.
Yes, sir.
Have you been in the band, is this your 4th year?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What instrument do you play?
I play the flute.
The flute. Do you like that?
Yes, most definitely. This will be my 8th year playing the flute. I started in middle school at Carroll Oakland, so.
Oh, wow. What are your, now that you're a senior and this is your last year at LHS, what are you going to do?
Well, I am the section leader of the flute, so I just hope that this year we can bring it all we've got in as a flute section, and we can really show what we've got.
So you're not worrying about next year yet?
No, sir.
Going to college, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You going to play the flute in college?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. The next person we want to talk to,
Michaela Sutton.
Michaela Sutton. Well, good morning to you, and welcome to our program. What instrument do you play?
I am the drum major of the Lebanon High School marching band.
Drum major.
Yes,
you get
sir.
out and lead everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is that difficult?
It can be, yes, sir.
What do you like about that?
What I really like about it is that, as opposed to my experience marching in the band, you get to hear everything as it's being played. So you really get a sense of community because these 135 kids that didn't know each other before getting into this program are all making music together, and you get to listen to it and lead them in that, and I think that's really cool.
You think you're a good leader?
I would like to think so, yes, sir.
Well, I'm sure you are. You wouldn't be there. Is this your first year to be drum major?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so a little bit of learning here for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Let's move to this gentleman right here, and I believe you're the only guy here today. You're Jake Hudson.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jake. Good morning and welcome to our program.
Good morning.
You're senior too.
Yes, sir.
What do you play?
I am a center snare of the drum line.
Mm-hmm.
And this year for the drum line, it's a brand new start. I'm the only senior on the drum line. There are 2 other juniors, and everyone else is freshman, sophomore. And everyone who's becoming a freshman is coming from 8th grade and just starting on a brand new drum that they've never touched before. And I'm seeing some great progress within some people.
Yeah. Well, is this drum what you've always done?
Yes, sir, since 6th grade.
And how many did you do this maybe in junior high or middle school or something?
Yes, sir, at Tucker's Crossroads.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you're looking forward to a great year, I'm sure. What about going to Chicago?
I'm excited but scared, no doubt. It's a travel there. What was it? 2 years ago, we went to Walt Disney. That was the first band trip I ever been on, and it was a great time. And I'm so excited to go to Chicago, though.
Okay, let's see. We've got we've 3 down and 3 to go. Okay, well let's swap some seats here or something. Yeah, have a seat here, and let me. I'm gonna have to have some help. You're
Alice Orr.
Alice Orr. All right, Alice. Alice, we welcome you. Tell us about your experience in the band. You love it?
I love it very, very much. I do.
What do you play?
I play the clarinet.
The clarinet? Yeah. How long? You've been playing it all along?
Yes, I've been playing that since 6th grade, so this should be about my 7th year.
Yeah.
I think.
And again, you're all seniors here.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to further your musical career, maybe?
I hope so. I hope to continue it in college, but probably not as a career necessarily.
How close are y'all? I mean, if there's 135 people in the band, do you know everybody by their name?
Most of the time, yes. We're all best friends in the band.
Okay. Get along pretty well?
I hope so.
Tell us about Mr. Chanel. What kind of slave driver is he?
Well, seeing as how I had Mr. Chanel in middle school too, I've had enough time around him.
Is he a pretty good guy?
He's a good guy.
Is he
He's
a great band director?
absolutely a great band director. Kind of intimidating still, though.
Okay, I lost count of all your names here. Who's sitting in front of me?
I'm Laramie.
Laramie Eisenstein.
Eisenstein, yes.
Eisenstein. Laramie Eisenstein. Well, are you having fun yet?
Yes, sir.
We're glad to have you this morning.
you.
What instrument do you play, or do you play an instrument?
Yes, sir. I play the baritone.
The baritone. All right. You have to know. You have to learn to read music at some point. Is that at the very beginning when?
Well, at my elementary school, I went to Carol Oakland with Rihanna. They taught us to read music in, I believe, 4th grade, because at our school, band actually started in the 5th grade as opposed to the other middle schools where it started in 6th. So she actually took time and taught us to read treble clef music in the 4th grade. So going into band, it was a lot easier playing an instrument that read music in that clef.
Well, I guess after a while it kind of gets to be old school, but there's a lot that somebody who's totally inexperienced and doesn't realize how much you go through and how
Yes,
much
sir.
learning there is to get to where you are, right?
Yes, sir. Especially since there are different clefs that you can read music in. And I'm one of the people here that has switched instruments, and my instruments read in different clefs. So having to switch between the way that I've always read music to reading an entirely new way was something very difficult to do. But it was still very fun, and it wasn't too bad, but it was still like a transition that had to be made.
Yeah. You got plans after LHS?
Yes, sir.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to attend University of Northwestern Ohio and get an automotive degree.
An automotive degree.
Yes, sir.
Okay, not music.
No, sir.
Let's see. Is this our last person here? All right, you're
Leah Leahy.
Leah Leahy. We welcome you. What instrument do you play?
I play sousaphone and clarinet.
You've had a great experience in the band too?
Yeah, pretty good.
What do you mean pretty good?
Well, really great. I love band.
One or the other. You have some good memories of being in the band?
Yeah, I've made my best friends in band, all of them pretty much. I met my best friend Laramie in 6th grade, or not 6th grade. I've met Aubrey in 6th grade. I met Laramie in high school, so that was pretty cool.
But you're looking forward to a great year, no doubt.
I am.
All right. Well, we're glad. And you got plans? I've asked the others, I think. What are you going to do after high school?
I'm not sure at all.
That's fine. Now, Mr. Director, Ben Chanel, you're going to, why don't y'all get your instruments, and I think if you get right over here, the mics will pick you up okay. What are they going to do?
It's just a little pep song. I think it's called Go Team Go. It's just a little short thing, and that we put it together this morning just for to play on the radio for you.
For us.
Yeah, just threw it together. It's not something we normally do in the stands, but it's a really easy, simple little one, and we hope you guys enjoy.
All right. Now, MJ, you be on the cue there, and swear it's not loud enough and not too loud, because I don't know what this is going to sound like, but here we go, the Lebanon High School Band, 6 members anyway. All right, great. Like I tell everybody, our program is live, spontaneous, and unrehearsed, and we've never done anything just like that before, I don't think, in 25 years. But thank you all very much. Thank you for being with us. We got about 3 minutes left here, and Delane, I know you're interested in fundraising, and I think you've got something we haven't covered yet.
That is correct. We have a car show coming up at Lebanon High School. We are partnering with the Goodwill Cruisers, and they come and we do a car show. So it's a fundraiser for us at the high school right in front. It'll be this Saturday. It starts at 9 a.m. for registration till noon. Anyone can bring a car and register it. It's $20. And or you can just come and look at cars. It doesn't cost anything to come in if you want to see some really cool and neat cars and paint jobs and just different things. And we have a few connections in Nashville with Nissan as well, and so there'll be some things from those folks. We've had some interesting cars. This is our third year to put it on, so we've just had some really neat programs.
So this is not your first time. You kind of know where you are, and it is, I take it, it's a good fundraiser because you're continuing to do it.
It is a good fundraiser. We have concession stands that we run, and then Goodwill Cruisers does give us a donation from any fees that are collected from them. So it is a great fundraiser for us. It's not too hard. Kids will be out there playing a little bit for people and just, having donation buckets. So it's just a time for us to do some fundraising.
Ben, it sounds to me, I know there's always seems like with a football team, with any sports or whatever, with a band as well, there's peaks and valleys. But it seems to me like you're on the way up here. 135 members, and you've got pretty good funding. It seems like the band is in pretty good shape from my perspective.
Yes, sir. We're doing a lot. We're having a lot of fun. I think the program is growing because of the way the kids are taking ownership of the program. We have a very strong leadership group. Of that 135, we have over 50 that are being trained as leaders. And so that's a really strong group of kids that are wanting to make the program better every day. And I attribute it to them more than the directors and staff, because the kids own the program.
Well, I'm just glad that you could come out, and glad to offer you the time here this morning. I mean, we talk a lot about sports. We don't talk as much about the band sometimes, and I think that's almost a shame. We appreciate the hard work that y'all all put into it. I know you're going to have a great year. And Delane, you got 30 seconds for the last word. Tell us again your fundraiser.
Our fundraiser is this Saturday, July 20th at Lebanon High School from 9 to 12. And then judging will start at 12 o'clock. 2 o'clock is the final cutoff. 3 o'clock are the awards. And so just come up there and support the Lebanon Band, or if you just want to see some neat cars, come on. Get you a soda or hamburger, hot dog.
All right. Well, thank you for setting this up. Thank you for getting this group out here. And Director Ben Chanel, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Coleman.
We wish you well, and wish you great time as Band Boosters President.
Thank you so much.
And that is part one of Coleman and Company. Keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:31. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford. And they have the low price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. Watching that traffic become heavy at times there through Kingston Springs on 40 going eastbound. All that traffic coming from Dixon County. 840 looks pretty good right now. Working your way between, let's say, Rutherford County and Williamson County. Traffic still holding up right now. 40 coming past the airport there through Hermitage, Dallas, and up by Spence Lane. Get the lowest prices on most of your airline tickets. Smart Fares can save you up to 70% off. Call 1-800-915-2544. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway, across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
You'll want to make sure to have your umbrellas. You're headed up the door this morning. Scattered storms will be in the forecast for your Wednesday. The good news here, that will keep temps a little cooler, as today will top out in the upper 80s. We'll see a few storms around this evening, but those will taper off after the sun goes down. Those will bottom out in the mid-70s by early tomorrow morning. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Nisa Lomax.
Coleman and Company Part 2 here on a Wednesday morning. Philip Edley has arrived, and he's here to talk about Absolute Rental and Supply. Philip, good morning again.
Morning, Coleman.
Not rainy, is it?
It's not raining yet.
I think it's been that way just about all week. The rain has been to the west or somewhere else. We didn't have much here.
Very spotty, no doubt.
But anyway, rain or shine, Absolute Rental and Supply is there to take care of you, and you need to remember their phone number. It's a very easy one to remember, 615-443-RENT, R-E-N-T, 443-RENT. And Philip's got a team to take care of your needs, just about anything you could want, from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers.
Yeah, you got that down pat.
Well, what's on your mind today?
Like I say, we're always busy. It's steady right now, and that's what I like about this time of year right now. People will be able to schedule and kind of get their work done on a type of schedule, depending on the rain a little bit. But a lot of times things are seasonal, and you have to wait till it dries up, or wait till it warms up, or in the fall you've got your different seasonal type things. So right now we're kind of in it. Everything's kind of hitting on all cylinders. The dirt moving equipment is wide open. Of course, the mowers are renting out all the time. There's not a lot of seed and fertilizer at this time. You still have those contractors that are needing to get that yard in, so we sell seed, fertilizer, and straw to them. So it's just kind of a good time of year for us, because we feel like there's not a big rush on anything, but there's just all the items are going out real steady.
You rent a lot of mowers?
We do, yes sir, we sure do. They stay out all the time.
You're talking about
zero term mowers. So
I'm not for whatever reason. I just hadn't thought about somebody renting. I figured, everybody's going to buy one of them, but they don't.
Now, a lot of times theirs may be broken down. It may be a time that they're trying to get it fixed. We also rent push mowers. There's a lot of times that people don't need a 60-inch zero-turn mower, so we have a push mower for rent. And a lot of people have small yards, so they stay really busy.
Well, for sure, if yours is broken down, there's no excuse not to have the yard mowed. Come and rent your mower at Absolute Rental and Supply.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, but the aerial lifts are really busy right now. Especially we've had all this tree damage, all these winds and stuff like that. So, people are coming in, renting our aerial lifts to get up in the air to get those limbs trimmed back. Our chainsaws are very busy right now due to all the wind damage we've had. Chippers, all the things that are kind of related to
you
those
rent chippers?
Oh yeah, we've got several chippers. And all that.
You rent everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, chippers are a big mainstay. It's chippers and stump grinders. I don't reckon we've ever really talked about all the tree stuff, but we have pole saws, the extendable boom pole saws that go out. I think it goes out like 14 feet. If you need some tree work done, you have the opportunity to come do it yourself as opposed to having it hired done.
Well, let me ask you about these stump grinders. Are they difficult to operate?
They're really not difficult. They're lots easier than they used to be. They're all hydraulically controlled now. Used to, you had to kind of physically drag it back and forth across the stump. Now you just stand there and pull levers, and it physically goes back and forth. It's very easy. And, we've probably got 4 or 5 of those units that stay out very consistently.
Okay.
A lot of people, you constantly get a question, how long does it take to grind a stump? And you're like, well, it really depends on the type of wood, how long it's been cut. There's lots of variables on there, and how deep you're going to go below surface. But
you've got the thing to get the job done.
We've got the thing to get the job done.
Are there different sizes of those?
No, we basically carry just one size.
One size fits all.
Yeah, it's not a commercial size. There's if you're in the business and you're going to be doing large stumps all the time, but it's kind of like anything else. You can do a large stump with our unit. It's just going to take you a longer time. But I think it's about 25 horsepower unit, where a lot of these deals get up into that 50, 60 horsepower for a commercial application.
Okay, well, we just never had talked about that before, so a little extra time there on stump grinders.
Exactly, yeah.
But really, the thing you have done over the years, you've listened to your customers, and especially if there's something new comes on the market, maybe a different way of doing something and a new piece of equipment, you're quick to get it.
We really do. We try to stay on top of the technology and the new products that are coming out, because our main goal is to make sure you're able to get your job done in the most efficient way. And that way you'll come back. If you get a good quality equipment at Absolute Rental, you'll come back. And, we may recommend you may be looking for this. And we say, no, you really need this over here, this piece of equipment over here. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I didn't realize there was that. Oh, I didn't realize that was an easier way." So that is our goal.
And I suspect this works both ways. There's sometimes somebody asks for something bigger than they really need, so you suggest a smaller unit, and vice versa. Well, no, you need this bigger one.
Exactly.
And that's why you ask questions to get the right fit.
Yeah, and I know you can sense on the phone when people call in, you start asking questions and all this stuff, and sometimes they're kind of get aggravated.
Get a little defensive.
Yeah, but you're like, I just want to make sure you get your job done with the right piece of equipment and not damage ours, not try to use that Bobcat as a bulldozer, which we've had happen. So,
well, you want your equipment taken care of, but you want a happy customer. If you help him do the job right, he's going to recommend you and come back.
That's our goal right there.
All right. Well, we've covered a lot of territory here this morning, but I don't know whether we mentioned your location or not, but 1325 West Main, Absolute Rental and Supply. You've got some big signs there. You've got a lot of orange equipment around there.
Kubota equipment
too,
all over the place. Yeah. Exactly. That's a good kind of eye attention grabber there. But, we are from 7 to 6 Monday through Friday and 7 to 4 on Saturdays.
And one more thing, you're a great sponsor for the great giveaway. You've got the vehicle in there that somebody might win.
Yep.
Well, they're going to win one of them on Tuesday night at the fair, and $1,000 5 other nights will be given away. And you're right in the middle of all of that. Got tickets. People come and get them.
Yep, come by and get your fair tickets.
I guess they're making their rounds each day.
Yep.
Somebody is.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, have a good week. We'll see you next Wednesday.
All right, thank you.
Philip Etherly, Absolute Rental and Supply, 1325 West Main. Remember the phone number is 615-443-RENT. And at 21 minutes before the hour, let me welcome Lebanon Mayor Bernie Ash. Bernie, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
How are you today?
Doing very well.
All right. Well, we had a city council meeting last night. And I'm going to tell you, the Reds were playing, and I forgot all about your city council meeting.
I can't believe that.
Then the game went into extra innings, and the good guys lost on a home run in the 10th inning, I think. But anyway, now this morning I find out about last night's city council meeting. But I think the big thing probably on there last night was a second reading for the budget, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, we'll go ahead and spill the beans here. Did it pass?
It passed last night 4-2 on second reading. So we have passed the budget, and we'll move from continuing budget into our real budget now.
Okay. How does that work? Is this retroactive to July 1st, or is it just pick up where
we just pick up where we left off?
Like
where
today,
we start.
maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So this is was the voting the same 4-4 and the same 2 against?
That's right.
As last time. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, was there? I know before each meeting there's time given for citizens to speak. I think the council people get to say something if they want to.
Right.
I just wonder, was there much talk, much discussion about this from anybody last
Surprisingly, no. On our first reading, we had one gentleman speak against the tax increase. On our second reading, no one spoke for or against it. So the council had some discussion. Councilman Burton and Carmack, they voted against it. Councilman Burton wanted to use some of our reserve funds to pay for the shortfall in our budget, which is I felt not a good way to spend taxpayer money. You shouldn't use non-recurring funds to pay for recurring expenses. All you're doing is putting it off for another year. It's going to come around sometime or other. So you need to have a way to fund these increases.
Was this done at the first of the meeting last night?
It was.
Okay.
Yes.
So you had the headline got made in a hurry last night, and I guess the rest is kind of anticlimactic, as we say. But
actually, no. We are going to do some pavement work on the parking lot where the old courthouse was on the square, and we had a lot of people, merchants from the square, coming to support that, and it's been needed for a long time. If you've been around the square recently, the square has definitely been revitalized. People are filling up the parking lots, having trouble finding spaces to park. For the next couple of months, it's even going to be worse because we're going to tear the square up or the parking lot up. We're going to take care of some drainage problems there, grading problems, and get that fixed. Then we're going to repave it, stripe it. We're going to take those islands in the middle of the square of the parking lot out, so you don't stumble over those. We're going to put up some decorative lighting and some landscaping. So.
Well, okay, so really, you're rather than just patching sort of the parking lot, you're really doing a whole makeover. It sounds like
we are
getting rid of some water problems.
Yes.
Just the drainage, water, all of this, and then putting a good top over there.
Exactly. We've had a lot of trouble with ponding on that parking lot. Of course, really not much has been done to it over the years, but we're going to have some landscaping in there. We're going to put in some ways to water the landscaping.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do that, and we're going to put in some electrical outlets. We have different functions on the parking lot from time to time, so we'll be able to take care of some bands and different things that we do over there.
Some of those events that have been held there, or for the most part, that was the center of them. It's kind of been a square wide thing at times, but that's kind of been the center of some entertainment and some things like that. So we're still going to be able to do that, but just going to have a new surface there, and when something like that's not happening, it'll be more parking.
More parking.
Will we be able to park more cars than we can now with the new configuration? It'll be about the same or less?
It's going to be about the same. I think we got one more parking space.
Oh,
because of course we're limited to how many we can get in that area. And what we have done though, and this is going to take some rethinking by people who use the square a lot. First Baptist Church has allowed us. We signed a contract with them to use their parking lot up next to the election commission.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's not a sign up there now, there will be a sign soon, public parking in there, so you'll be able to park there and walk to the square. Also, the county's parking lot across the street from First Baptist and behind the fire department, you'll be able to park over there. So we're just going to have to rethink excuse me, how we do things. If the square is full, there are still alternatives. It's not that much of a walk from First Baptist or the county parking lot to the square.
Well, of course we've got a new restaurant, bar, whatever, on the square. I think there's lots of times when I pass by in the evening, at night, early night, the square is pretty full, and I was attributing that to that and probably the Capitol Theater.
Yeah, absolutely. The Town Social is the name of it. I've been there a time or two. It's a very nice restaurant. A lot of business people have lunch there, and it's a very nice place to go. And you're right, it has increased traffic on the square quite a bit.
And so, how soon is this going to take place, Steve?
We'll be starting. We've already bid it out and approved the bid, and we'll be starting within the next few weeks. We hope to have it done by October or November. We want to wait a minute. I think it'll be July, August or October, somewhere in there.
Okay, but you're talking about maybe a couple of months.
Months, yeah. So there's going to be some construction going on down there. You are going to have to look for alternate places to park for a while. The merchants do a lot of business starting Halloween, and of course there's the Halloween on the square. We want to have it ready for that, and of course Christmas on the square is a big deal.
Okay, it's about time for us to take a break. Lebanon Mayor Bernie Ash is here. We'll talk more about last night's meeting and other things pertaining to the mayor's office after we come back from this break on Coleman and Company FM 90.
At 7:47, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the Lifetime Brake Pad Guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns a vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. It looks like a two-car collision at West End at 24th there in Midtown. It's busy, you would expect out here on 65 southbound here at Trinity Lane. Still quite a bit of traffic making its way down Vietnam Vets right now. Coming through Hendersonville, headed towards the 65 split. A store closing sale going on at 902 Murfreesboro Pike. Save on vehicles, trucks, jet skis, store fixtures. Check out the auction this Saturday at 902 Murfreesboro Pike. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
This is Bob McDonough with Cedar Stone Bank. We know there are times when financial circumstances can be complicated for families and businesses, but we do not believe the solutions need to be. That's why for 15 years we've been delivering simple banking to our customers while still offering all services and products. We're thankful for our customers and the communities that we serve. If you don't bank with us, it would be our pleasure to visit with you and talk about how simple banking is simply better.
Cedar Stone Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Philip Etherly with Absolute Rental and Supply. Whether it's cleaning, painting, remodeling, or simply getting better organized, we have the tools and equipment to get the job done. Scaffolding, paint sprayers, ladders, power saws, portable heaters, temporary lighting, generators, hardwood floor staples, from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers, Absolute Rental has what you need. Call 615-443-RENT. Absolute Rental and Supply. We have what you need.
Coleman and Company, it is a Wednesday. London Mayor Bernie Ash is with us, and if you just joined us, you didn't hear the first part. We'll recap real quickly here. Last night, the Lebanon City Council passed on second reading the budget for the next fiscal year.
That's correct.
And it does include the 20, we didn't mention that earlier, it includes the 25-cent property tax.
It does, yes.
Meaning that on every $100 of assessed value, you pay an additional 25 cents.
Right.
And we've discussed this quite a bit in the past. Are you basically pleased with this and what we're planning here financially for the next year?
Well, I'm not sure pleased is the right word. I think we've done the best that we could do with the budget this year. I don't. No politician likes to raise taxes. And I was talking with somebody just recently and about the tax increase. And he didn't like it, but he said, we're still getting a bargain for our money here in Lebanon. The city of Lebanon's property tax is lower than most of the cities around us, and they've all had to raise taxes also.
Well, the vote again was 4-2, same as it was when it passed the first time. Then the other thing we've talked about, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that the old courthouse parking lot on the square, not only going to be repaved, but it's going to be redone, take care of some drainage problems and this sort of thing.
Yes.
And the finished product's going to be great.
Yeah.
The bad news is there's a couple of months that it's not going to be able to be used while this is being done.
That's right.
And some alternate places to park will have to be sought by people who usually park there.
That's right. And we tried to pick a time for the construction. It's never going to be convenient, but we tried to pick a time that would help the merchants. And we know the Halloween time of year is big for merchants, and the Halloween on the square. And we don't want to disrupt that. And of course, Christmas is huge for merchants. It's make it or break it for some of them sometimes down there.
So you're hoping to have all this done by maybe the middle of October or something?
I think that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, there was another thing last night we haven't gotten to, and I don't want to steal your thunder. Not that this is something I think you've been doing just about every year, and it's not too long before school starts again, and that's what this was about.
That's right. Our economics director, Sarah Haston, is the president of the Kiwanis Club, and she's a real go-getter. The Kiwanis Club has sponsored a day of prayer for our schools every year for 21 years. This came about at the time of Columbine High School when they had the shooting, and a lot of the students were killed and teachers, and the Kiwanis Club rightfully decided, we need a day of prayer before our schools start to pray for our teachers and children, pray for their safety, and that's what they've done. And the city presented a proclamation honoring that last night.
And I think it'd be equally good to mention Ed Callis, who's kind of the one who initiated this.
Yes, absolutely.
Years ago.
Absolutely.
So every year you do this resolution every year. We have this day of prayer for our schools.
We do.
Which is this is an endorsement by the city. Really.
Absolutely.
And the county does the same thing. Probably the city of Watertown and Mount Juliet probably do.
I would imagine. Yes. It's a very, very good deal.
We're going to be doing a program about that with Ed. I think it's next week.
Okay.
Anything else from last night's meeting? Transfer any money? Approve any more construction somewhere?
We've got a lot of work on zoning, things like that we do all the time, and it's just part of our growth here in Lebanon. We're taking care of that kind of business. Something I'd like to talk about for just a minute, if you can, is parks in Lebanon. We a few years ago, about 2016, I think, there was some money borrowed to build a $5 million park. There's a lot of controversy over that. And I think what we have done, we have taken that money, which was borrowed at a low interest rate. A couple million was used to purchase property for the sports complex that's going to be built over the next few years out on Highway 231. We anticipate that will be a good park for tournament play for soccer and softball and other activities. And being as close to the interstate as it is and an exit is going to bring in a lot of money for the city in that way. Over on Hartman Drive, South Hartman Drive, we're building a small park, a neighborhood park is what we're calling it, with a playground. If you've driven by there recently, you've seen it going up, and it's almost complete. Still got some work to go, but there will be a small park over there. Take your children over there. There'll be a little playground. We're also looking at on Cairo Bend Road. Goodall Building is building. Going to be building a lot of houses over there, and they have donated 15 acres of property. This is on the west side of town, so we will be building about $1 million park over there, and they will be donating a lot of the groundwork for that. So that's working well. And excuse me, one other park that we're looking at, and this one's going to be a very small neighborhood park on Carver Lane. Clayton Anderson, who runs the water department over there, pointed out to me that they have a pond on the front of that property, and there's an old garage there. We tore the house down. We're going to tear the garage down and build a small park with maybe a shelter and some swings and just benches, place where a mother could bring her children. They could maybe fish in the pond or swing, and she can be comfortable reading, whatever. But we're going toward neighborhood parks rather than one big park.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One other thing we might point out, the CABA World Series has been taking place since last Friday night, I believe, is when it began. Mm-hmm. And Larry Hubbard was out here, and we talked quite a bit about this last week. I believe it goes through tomorrow.
I think that's right.
And the ending of it will all be over at Veterans Park, part of Baird Park up there. But that nice baseball facility there is where it all ends. I guess if I'm not sure about this. There's been games played at Wilson Central, at Cumberland, at Lebanon, and at Veterans Field, and it'll all end at Veterans Field. And that has been going on for a number of years here, and has brought. I believe they said 18 teams maybe were participating this year, and some of them come from far away, but they'd love to come to Lebanon. And,
absolutely.
That's a testament to William Porter, and I think the good job he and his group of people do.
Absolutely. They work hard out there. I'd like to point out that with the new park that we want to build out on 231 South is not going to take the place of Baird Park. Baird Park is not going anywhere. The Little League teams that play there will continue to play there. The primary focus is going to be on soccer. However, there will be baseball and softball fields at the new park, and they'll kind of take care of the overflow. And Cabo may play out there some, and there'll also be football and volleyball, and eventually a playground out there.
And part of this, I think, has been necessitated by the fact that the soccer fields over at the airport I hate to say in the way, but they kind of need to go. They found another place for them.
It served its purpose for a while to keep their program going, but having soccer games over there so close to the runway and the airport flight path and all that it's dangerous. It's risky, and we want to eliminate that risk. We certainly don't want anybody to get hurt. So the soccer program has been looking for a home for a long time, and this is going to solve that problem, I think.
Where are we? We're still in the planning stage, I think. Hadn't been any dirt turned.
No.
How long a range project are we talking about?
We're probably looking at a few years anyway. We have recently looked at hiring a development group to plan the park. We don't want to do it hodgepodge or piecemeal. We want to do it professionally, and it'll be a great place to go. But we have hired a development team to start the process. Once we have a plan, then we will start maybe turning some ground.
Okay, one other thing. Is there anything about flood control that is part of this?
It started out that way. We started out looking at some property the Corps of Engineers wanted to help us do something about our flood control on the square, and that will continue. We ended up not buying that property, but again, the Corps of Engineers will build a dam out there to help control water. But the property directly behind the property that we were looking at came up for sale. We got a better price and more land. We got 150 acres. And we got a good deal on it. It's a good place, good visibility on the highway. We're very happy with it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, got about a minute left here this morning. With the passing of the budget on second reading, it going into effect immediately here, I guess we can kind of settle down now, and I don't know what's next, but that's kind of a hurdle to get out of the way, isn't it?
It is, and this year seemed to be more of a hurdle than usual, which I understand with tax increase. We want to make sure that we do it fairly and get what the city needs to operate on, and I think we've done that.
And we're still growing. We're still dealing with growth. We're still going to have growth issues to come.
We are. Now, the good news to that is, I think I mentioned once before out here that new growth doesn't pay for itself. 4 or 5 years down the road, we will probably start seeing the effect on our budget in a positive way from the growth, but it's not there today.
Well, thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Coleman.
Lebanon Mayor Bernie Ash, and that's it for a Wednesday. And until tomorrow, I wish you a wonderful day.